Rosalind L.C. Franklin, born on the 25th of July 1920, is best known for her contribution towards the discovery of the double helix structure of DNA. After studying physics and chemistry at Cambridge University, she went on to work for British Coal Utilisation Research Association while completing her PhD thesis on the porosity of coal. In 1946, Franklin moved to Paris where she researched on X-ray crystallography. Rosalind Franklin's brilliant scientific contributions as a chemist and X-ray crystallographer, in both virus structure research and coal chemistry, have proven to be extremely beneficial. Franklin's detailed work to make clearer X-ray patterns of DNA molecules proved to be of great help in the research of James Watson and Francis Crick, in which they suggested that the structure of DNA is a double helix polymer, a spiral consisting of two DNA strands wound around each other, in 1953. Sadly, the contributions made by Franklin were not acknowledged. Rosalind's illustrious research career came to an unfortunate end when she passed away from ovarian cancer at the young age of 37. Some published works on Franklin's life provide a detailed account of her genius contributions. Brenda Maddox, in her book, Rosalind Franklin, The Dark Lady of DNA, talks about the brilliant scientific mind of Franklin. Another popular published work by Franklin's friend and author, Annie Sayre, gives us a deeper insight into Rosalind's life, quotes about Rosalind Franklin, and how she gained very little recognition for her unparalleled contribution to the study of DNA. If you love reading about everything science, you will surely love these Rosalind Franklin quotes on science, faith and religion and share them with your friends. You might also like to read other Lovelace quotes and weird science quotes. Top quotes about science by Rosalind Franklin. Here are a few Rosalind Franklin quotes to make you fall in love with science. For budding scientists, these famous Rosalind Franklin quotes, which include quotes about biology and other science quotes, can be really motivating. Best Rosalind Franklin quotes from the famous English chemist. Science, for me, gives a partial explanation for life. Insofar as it goes, it is based on fact, experience and experiment. You look at science, or at least talk of it, as some sort of demoralizing invention of man, something apart from real life, and which must be cautiously guarded and kept separate from everyday existence. While the biological properties of deoxypentose nucleic acid suggest a molecular structure containing great complexity, X-ray diffraction studies described here show the basic molecular configuration has great simplicity. The results suggest a helical structure which must be very closely packed, containing probably 2, 3 or 4 coaxial nucleic acid chains per helical unit and having the phosphate groups near the outside. In my view, all that is necessary for faith is the belief that by doing our best we shall succeed in our aims, the improvement of mankind. My method of thought and reasoning is influenced by a scientific training. If that were not so, my scientific training will have been a waste and a failure. Conclusion: big helix in several chains, phosphates on outside, phosphate into helical bonds disrupted by water. Phosphate links available to proteins. We wish to discuss a structure for the salt of deoxyribose nucleic acid. DNA. This structure has novel features which are of considerable biologic interest. But science and everyday life cannot and should not be separated. I see no reason to believe that a creator of protoplasm or primeval matter, if such there be, has any reason to be interested in our insignificant race in a tiny corner of the universe, and still less in us, as still more insignificant individuals. Again, I see no reason why the belief that we are insignificant or fortuitous should lessen our faith. Famous quotes by Rosalind Franklin. The story of Rosalind Franklin, chemist and X-ray crystallographer, can really change your outlook towards science and the contribution of women in science. You can use these famous scientist quotes and share them with friends. Her ways of life and terms have inspired even more women to come out with their desires to become a scientist, become a member of the male-dominated science community and become more independent. In my view, all that is necessary for faith is the belief that by doing our best we shall come nearer to success, and that success in our aims, the improvement of the lot of mankind, present and future, is worth attaining. I agree that faith is essential to success in life, success of any sort, but I do not accept your definition of faith, i.e. belief in life after death. I maintain that faith in this world is perfectly possible without faith in another world. What's the use of doing all this work if we don't get some fun out of this? Traveling around in a little tin box isolates one from the people and the atmosphere of the place in a way that I have never experienced before. I would willingly go more primitive if it were necessary to preserve my freedom. Your faith rests on the future of yourself and others as individuals, mine in the future and fate of our successors. Anyone able to believe in all that religion implies obviously must have such faith, but I maintain that faith in this world is perfectly possible without faith in another world. Your theories are those which you and many other people find easiest and pleasantest to believe, but so far as I can see, they have no foundation other than they lead to a pleasanter view of life and an exaggerated idea of our own importance. Here at Kidadal, we have carefully created lots of interesting family-friendly quotes for everyone to enjoy. If you liked our suggestions for Rosalind Franklin, then why not take a look at Dorothea Dick's quotes or physics quotes?